Maybe we could talk a little bit about the role that kind of play and experimentation has in architecture. I think a lot of times the beginning of a project, it's incumbent that you're experimenting and testing ideas even before the project arrives at our doorstep, right? We want to be testing ideas, whether it's through AI or robotics or whether it's just through physical model making. I think there's a lot that can be done early on in a project, even before the project arrives or the client arrives at our door.
Right, and sometimes it's a straight line process. Sometimes it's a back and forth process, and there's no clear path. And sometimes you'll have a project that you design it one way, you have a very clear idea of what's going to happen, and then through various issues that occur, you recognize that there's a redesign that has to happen. And we also, we like the idea of physical model making, which not only enables us to test out different things in three dimension, not just seen on screen, but it enables a client to see it, and get a sense of what it's like to be in a space. We put little people in there too sometimes.
I think the beauty of these physical models too is that it's not just a presentation tool, it's actually a learning tool. So as we're building, we're learning about, the way a form works or the way light is spilling into a space. These are not necessarily presentation models. They can be, study models where we'll take ideas, that we have preconceived and we'll build them and mask them out, but then we may have discoveries that we make as we're building. We may take a piece of material from something else or a scrap, or something is flipped upside down and we'll say, oh, I hadn't thought of that. Right? That design process for us is vital, I think, to the way we work, and to I think a lot of architects would agree that experimentation early on and physical model making is important. You can't really take that away from any design process.
And the final project almost never is exactly like the study models. There's some tweak here and there.
Our office will always have a line of design research happening so that when a client does approach us, we have something to bring to the table before the start of the project. At the start of this particular project, we explored physical model making as a means of testing ideas. In this case, the concept was folding, and rather than just jumping into a Rhino model, we decided to start with an actual chipboard model that we could physically fold, and we could learn from that geometry and test different massing ideas and flip models around, reorient things as a way of testing the playfulness of the project. So we wanted to experiment with literal folding and then see how that was interpreted in the digital model.